We begin with breaking news at 4 o'clock. CDOT says a major crash has I-70 shut down in Summit County near Silverthorne. This is a live look near that area. We're working to learn more about this crash and if anyone was hurt, really what happened. Right now, eastbound lanes at Silverthorne are closed. Westbound lanes at the Eisenhower Tunnel are also closed. We're going to update you throughout the hour as we learn more. But again, traffic just shut down in that area. Pretty serious crash going on. An Air Force Academy graduate is taking the federal government to court over its ban on transgender service members. Hunter Marquez is among 30 plaintiffs suing to get that policy changed. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Sam Shocker. The 22-year-old received their diploma at graduation last week, but was not allowed to be commissioned as an officer. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry explains what that means for them and the other cadets losing their military career.
Class of 2025.
After 4 years, all that's left is one word.
Dismiss!
Graduating from the U.S. Air Force Academy is no easy feat. But for Hunter Marquez,
exactly,
the hardest part may be what comes next.
Graduation was just a happy moment for me. This has been such a huge dream of mine, and I'm just left in the dust now.
Marquez walked the stage last Thursday. Today, they should be preparing for their active duty assignment. Instead, they joined a federal lawsuit in hopes of overturning the government's ban on transgender service members. The lawsuit claims the policy violates trans service members' rights to equal protection under the law. Marquez says they and 2 other transgender cadets were able to receive their diplomas on Thursday, but because of this policy change, they won't be commissioned as officers and can't go on to serve.
I've gone through this for 4 years. I've met all the standards. I'm qualified for the job. So it really felt like a betrayal.
The government has given all transgender service members until Friday to voluntarily separate from the military, leaving Marquez with a choice.
My decision is to choose involuntary separation. Obviously, this decision did not come lightly because this is my livelihood that is hanging in the balance, but it just doesn't make sense why we are getting rid of thousands of qualified individuals who are the definition of warfighters.
Fight is what Marquez plans to do. With graduation over, the real battle begins.
I'm proud to be a graduate of the Air Force Academy, but the fight will not stop for me.
We did reach out to the Air Force Academy and they did confirm 3 transgender cadets did graduate but will not be allowed to become officers. They say these actions are in line with the current Department of Defense policy. As this lawsuit plays out, Marquez is applying for grad school in Colorado. Jaleesa Irizarry, 9 News.
It is such a, well, it's so prestigious to even get into the Air Force. And then there was discussion, I know you brought this up last week, that potentially that is something they'd have to pay back for that education. Is that the case, Jaleesa? I can't believe that would happen.
Yeah, I asked Hunter that very thing because, that's a lot of money that you would have to pay back if you're no longer allowed to serve. Marquez says that right now they do not have to pay that back.
Okay. Well, we know you'll be following this. They're ready to serve. That's a tough one. That's really tough. Thank you.
Continuing coverage now on the Pearl Street attack in Boulder. Today we learned of 3 more people were hurt, making 15 people recovering from injuries.
In the last 2 hours, we also learned a U.S. judge stopped the deportation of the suspect's family. We're going to have more on that in just a few minutes. First, about an hour and a half, the community will gather for a vigil at the Boulder Jewish Community Center. Our Mark Salinger is there. He's going to bring us coverage tonight on 9 News. Jewish Colorado has set up a fund for anyone impacted by the attack in downtown Boulder. If you would like to help, we have all of that information on 9news.com. Earlier today, in the same spot as Sunday's attack, government and faith leaders gathered with community members promising to stand against hate.
9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles takes us to Pearl Street, where this morning's message of unity was shared among many different faiths.
Good afternoon. Jews, Christians, Muslims, people of many different faiths were represented here today outside the courthouse on the Pearl Street Mall, an important location, especially for some of the people who came to this today who were victims of that attack on Sunday, coming back here for the first time since they've been attacked. We heard from Ed Victor, who was part of the Run for Their Lives group on Sunday, describing the terrible moments when his friends were set on fire. We heard from the governor and the mayor of Boulder, standing alongside other city and state leaders, promising Colorado will not tolerate hate, will not tolerate anti-Semitism. We also heard from faith leaders, a Jewish rabbi, a Christian reverend, and a Muslim imam. The imam's words denouncing the attack, definitively calling it anti-Semitic, and calling on people of different faiths and backgrounds to find common ground for peace. Those comments really struck a chord with several people I spoke to out here today. People like Ori Gartner, who was walking with his parents in the Run for Their Lives group on Sunday. He's ready to come back to this spot again, reclaim it, and also ready to speak up.
But when you hear someone say something like that's anti-Semitic or anti-Muslim or whatever it may be, it's our duty to speak up. And I'm going to take that away. And that's why I'm going to continue coming. Like, we have to speak up.
Ori and his parents are okay. He tells me they were uninjured. But every week when his dad and mom walk in that group, he said his dad takes pictures for the group. In fact, took one just moments before that attack on Sunday. Ori said that's part of police evidence now, but can really give us a good picture of who exactly was here that day and where, telling a better story of what happened. In Boulder tonight, Jennifer Meckles, 9 News.
Jennifer, thank you. And tonight we are learning more about the suspect. He's still in jail awaiting a state court appearance tomorrow and another in federal court on Friday. ICE confirmed his family was taken into custody, but just hours ago, in documents obtained by 9 News, a U.S. federal judge granted an order blocking their deportation. A hearing on that case is now set for next Friday. The family will remain in custody until then.
Let's take a live look outside. We got some peaks of sunshine coming in this afternoon. We did stay cooler today. Our weather impact team is tracking even more storms around the area, but nothing sounds like too severe, Kathy, for the Denver area.
Hopefully not for Denver. We did have a severe cell, Kim, that just moved through Weld County. It dropped 1-inch diameter hail near the town of Grover. And we're tracking some active weather in southern Colorado, but so far so good for the city. And with just enough sunshine, we warmed into the lower 70s this afternoon. So a nice warm up, but that warmer weather is also serving to cook up some thunderstorms for this afternoon. Now 72 in Denver, 73 in Lamar, and 74 in Greeley. That's a good 10, 15 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. So we're trending in the right direction. A wave of showers coming into southwestern Colorado, but the severe weather is north for now. A severe cell dropping out of Wyoming, dropped 1-inch diameter hail. That cell is just outside the town of Grover right now. Thunder, lightning, and wind likely. This storm about 20 minutes away from Kyoto, 42 minutes away from Raymer. And again, hail and damaging wind the biggest threat. Watching storms trying to develop along the foothills, not holding together terribly well, but we still think we're going to see a wave of storms cross into the metro area over the next 2 to 3 hours. Severe threat appears south of us from Woodland Park down to the New Mexico line, but can't rule out some pea-sized hail or a heavy downpour here in the city. We have got comfortable temperatures for the next few hours, and your weather headlines include the potential for these storms to really pick up speed and intensity as they cross the urban corridor over the next couple of hours. Another check of the radar in just a bit.